Kobe, congratulations on that knock and on the win. Can you kind of take us through your mindset? You know, you got the bunt sign, couple chances to get it down and didn't. Tell us how you kind of regrouped and attacked that at bat after that.
I don't know. I mean, I did a terrible job getting the bunt down, but it paid off. So after that, after I missed those bunts, I was just trying to battle and put a good swing on it and get a good pitch to hit.
It's not an easy thing to do though when you fail at that one task and try to put yourself back together in time to hit off a pretty good pitcher. We did. I mean, there was some anger there to just increase your focus?
I mean, not really. I mean, I was just frustrated with myself not getting the bunt down, and then just doing whatever I can to put the bat on the ball and hopefully get a good pitch to hit. And he threw me a curveball that I was waiting for, and I missed it. So and then he just came back with a fastball, and I was ready for it. Then when I got back in the dugout, told Gardy, I was like, screw bunt. We're in Cincinnati. Let me hit. Laughing, so.
We won't do that again. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Our next question comes from Jason Beck from MLB.com.
Yeah, JaCoby, I remember talking in spring training about at-bats and grinding them out. You know, the pitches you saw, that you shrugged off one that was off the plate. And was that the breaking ball that you were trying to get and fouled off, or?
Which one? What's your bet?
The ninth inning.
It's after the bunts and I fouled off that curveball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you were looking for?
I was actually seeing him pretty well, and then he threw me that. It was like a hanging curveball, and I just missed it. And then he just came back with a heater, and heaters in are like my specialty. So I mean,
the way the ball's been traveling here, did you think that was out off the bat, or did you have to?
No, I kind of knew it. I mean, this is a popcorn park pretty much. So if you hit the ball in the air, it's got a good chance to go out.
Was there any sense of, not relief, but any sense of, okay, different ball game once Castillo leaves that game and you get to the bullpen the way Castillo was pitching?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tough to see here. I mean, I was talking to Votto at first, and with the shadows and the sun being in the backdrop, and then the pitcher and the hitter being in the shadow, it's pretty tough to see, especially when the guy throwing 98 sinkers and then nasty off-speed stuff. So, yeah, I feel like once we got him out of the game, our rhythm kind of picked up and we had better at bats. But yeah, Castillo was pretty nasty today with the shadows and everything. So,
did Miggy's home run change the mood at all or anything? Not that you guys were out of it, but to see a home run, especially from him in that at bat, and to pull ahead like he did.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, I got that little bloop knock, and then he came up there with 2 outs and hit a homer, and just gave us a little bit of momentum. So that was huge for us. And then just getting to their bullpen was awesome. So, but yeah, seeing Miggy hit homers is a great thing to see.
How close did you think Castellanos' drive was coming?
Oh, I mean, off the bat, like in Cincinnati, I thought it was a homer. So, but luckily it died down a little bit. Maybe he caught it off the end. I don't really know. But when it was off the bat, I thought it was a homer for sure.
Thank you.
Ivan, you started the game with 13 straight strikes. Did you? I mean, I know you want to attack and establish stuff early. How do you feel about this outing altogether? Only gave up 3 hits, just 2 of them left the yard. Is all.
It was really good, man. You know, I wish I could go a little bit longer, but it's the first one, and they kind of have a pitch count for me today. You know, like I said, I was attacking early in the first inning, second inning. You know, I missed a pitch down and into a lefty, and Galbi put a really good swing on it. But overall, it was a good start.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that wasn't me, though.
Sorry. Wardrobe malfunction.
That's right.
You need help?
I think I got it.
You think you got it? Are you sure you got it?
I'm not sure, but I think I
Okay, so you probably need help.
I'm too short.
No.
All right. We'll just...
Carlos, ven a hacer algo, brother.
Hold it.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
We have. Hay un palto aquí.
Sorry about that, everybody. We'll add that to the outtakes reel for 2020. If anybody else had a question for Yvonne, please put it in the chat. We'll go to Jason Beck from MLB.com.
Yeah, I know it sounds cliche, but how big of a win was this for you guys, especially considering the way they looked on opening day, to be able to rally back to take a game like this?
And that's a good sign, man. You always want to get the first one out of the way. The guy gave me a lead in the first inning. I wasn't able to keep it. But the guy behind me did a really good job holding the game right there. The offense came back up. We was able to, take that W. So it's a good sign for us. And like I say, it's always nice to, have the first one out of the way.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason. Again, if there are any other questions, please put them in the chat. We'll go back to Chris McCoskey of the Detroit News.
I haven't seen you pitch enough or know you well enough. When you had the 4 walks today, how many of those were just you'd rather get to the next guy once you got behind? You know what I mean?
I know I can throw strikes, so I don't worry about walking people. I want to make sure that I make the right pitch at the right time. I know walk is a lot of it's a big thing for some guys. For me, it's not that much. They have a really good lineup, so I want to make sure that I make the right pitch when I need it to. You can see on the homer to garbage. Roman want me to throw a curve that I shake, the only one that I shake, and I give up a homer. So, obviously you want to attack the hitter. You want to, get ahead of the hitter. The umpire was a little, tight on me sometimes. So, especially here in this place, you don't want to miss right over the plate. So, if I work you, fine. You just get the next guy out.
Right. That's right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Yvonne, thank you for your time this evening.
Guys.
Hey, Austin, before we get to the home run, I wanted to ask you about Nova today, and especially on a day like today, how important was it for him to keep the game close so that the team had the opportunity to come back later in the game?
Absolutely. I think you said it perfect. Right there is just trying to keep the game close, but I think he went out there and he attacked. He has good movement on his fastball. We game plan that we wanted to attack these hitters. It's a good lineup that has a pretty good chance of hitting the ball in the seats 1 through 9. So we were just trying to attack, make sure we used all our pitches, moved in and out, and not let them get too comfortable at the plate. I thought that, he'd been working on his curveball a little bit, and I thought it was one of the bigger pitches for him today. Got him back in counts. He got some strikeouts on it. I think that played a big role today, that, not allowing the opposing team to get too comfortable looking for heaters.
And this is going to be a theme a lot this year with such a young bullpen, but you've got a guy in Brian Garcia, who I think has played 7 major league games in his career, and he's in there with the game on the line. As a veteran catcher, when you've got these young guys out there in these really, really high leverage situations, that's going to be something that is just a fact of life this year for you guys.
Absolutely. But that's what it's about. These guys are getting shots and they're showing they're ready. I wouldn't even know that he hadn't had that many games in the big leagues. He's out there, he's got good shakes, and he kind of had an idea of what he was doing out there. So it's fun to catch, with these guys just trying to slow the game down as much as possible. I think that's why I was brought here, to help slow the game down for some of these young guys, make sure that we're focused on the overall game rather than just, living and dying by one pitch. You got to make sure that you're executing a lot of different pitches. And I think that a lot of guys all the way through today executed a lot of good pitches, and these young guys are going to get a lot of opportunities to step up and make a name for themselves in the big leagues. So it's fun. It's fun to catch.
Thank you.
Thanks, Evan. Our next question comes from Chris McCoskey of the Detroit News.
How happy were you to see another pitcher after Castillo, and he went that 6? You greet the next guy with a home run. How tough was Castillo, and take us through the home run, please.
Yeah, no, Cassie, he could really throw the ball. Anybody that's throwing 99 with some movement, especially when those shadows crept in, and made it pretty difficult to see the ball. Pair that with 100, and you got a bad formula for the day. But you just keep grinding at bats out. You got to tip your hat. He pitched pretty well, but we were able to stay in the game. A lot of credit go to our pitchers today. They kept us in the game and allowed us to chip away. You get another pitcher coming in. he hangs a breaking ball first pitch, and then he hangs another one the second pitch. You got to make sure that you're in a position not to miss anything. So I pride myself on not missing mistakes, and I was lucky enough to get one up in the zone there and put it out.
Okay, appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks, Chris. Our next question comes from Jason Beck from MLB.com.
Yeah, was there any difference in mentality there when you're coming up and you get that you get on base, just trying to set the table there for even though it's the bottom of the order coming up after you?
Are you talking about the base hit?
Yes.
All
Sorry.
right. Another guy throwing real hard with a lot of movement, arm side, two seams. So I guess knowing what kind of hitter I am, I'm not trying to leave the park there. I'm trying to, find a hole and get things going. Homers do great things, but base hits help out too. I know I got, big hitters behind me. JaCoby had a heck of a swing. You got Miggy and some of those guys at the top. Being towards the bottom of the lineup, your job is to set the table. Your job is to get on base any way you can. There'll be times to go for the fence, but right there, it's find a hole and make sure you can get on base and set the table for the guys that can put the ball out.
What was the sense in the dugout after the Jones's ball? Well, first of all, did you guys think Jones's ball was gone off the bat? And when it did leave, just the sense in the dugout after that?
Yeah, I mean, this park's hard to tell. A lot of balls go out here. And it tends to fly here a little bit, but we know he got it good enough. And I was talking to Cam during the game, and this team has a feel of if we can keep it close, we got a chance to get back. This team's fighting and chipping away. So this team's gonna be in a lot of ball games. It's just if we can come up with some key hits when we need them, and I think we're gonna get a lot of those 1 through 9, making sure that we're staying in more games than we're not. I think the last 2 days, first one kind of got away towards the end, but today we were able to stay in game, and good things happen like that. You allow big league hitters to take good swings, and good things happen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Our next question comes from Carlos Monterez of the Detroit Free Press.
Yeah, Austin, you guys had a lot more hits today than you did yesterday. You also had 17 strikeouts as a team. How hard is it to kind of battle that frustration or to be patient? And obviously, you guys were very opportunistic, when you did have the chances.
Yeah, I mean, it's baseball. It's a great sport. You can fail 70% of the time and be an all-star. So you got to learn to deal with the failure. You get out, it is what it is. You come up next time and make sure you do your job, whatever the job is. If a guy on second, third, you got to get the run in. No one on, you got to get on base. I think if this team adopts that mentality of getting it done and doing your job, I think we're going to be better off in the end.
And just with Miguel Cabrera, you haven't been his teammate too long, but that shot passes Adrian Beltre for 30th and Cal Ripken Jr. in RBI's 25th, I think. Just kind of how cool is it to watch that kind of greatness up close? Yeah, no, I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of great players in my career. And, I'm coming over here and I'm playing with one of the best hitters of our generation. And it's fun to watch. I mean, he's in great company with the home run he just hit. And, I don't think a lot of people knew what was going on. But, he has a lot of home runs, and I'm used to seeing him from the other end. It's kind of fun to see him from this side for a change. So one of the best hitters I've ever seen. So it's fun to see.
Thanks, Carlos. We'll take our last question for Austin from Jeff Seidel, the Detroit Free Press.
I found it interesting just now when you said, you were talking in the dugout and you actually could see the grit and the fight and stuff. Do some teams just have that, or do you recognize that instantly here? Or
it's kind of just a feeling. You can feel it. You can see it. You see guys grinding. I think with a young team, it's easier to see because you see guys that are hungry. You see guys that want to be good and want to make a name for themselves. But I kind of just had this feeling come over me. You got a team that's out there grinding out every pitch and every at bat. When you have teams doing that, in the long run, usually it pans out in a good way. You can't really put your finger on it. It's just kind of a feeling I had. It's like I said, I think this team's going to be in a lot more ball games, and it's just going to come down to if you can get a key hit here and there.
Can you just the JaCoby Jones at bat? Did you have him button? Was he doing that on his own? And just take us through that. What you thought through that at bat?
Well, get the run over, get him in scoring position, and go from there. We got some pretty good hitters coming up after that, top of the order. So, JaCoby's good at that. Normally he can push him up with the best of them. Just didn't get him down. The guy was throwing really hard. That's why I kind of doubted that we should put it on, but we wanted to get the guy over there. And you know what? Then he had a great at bat after that. He battled off a couple of pitches, I think, and then got a hold of one. So, a good night for him. And good play for our Balkan. That was a big hit.
For sure. And then speaking of being resilient and fighting back, Miggy, he had the 3 punch outs early, and then you know, he comes up with that situation, gets challenged on 3-2. Were you kind of surprised they challenged him? I know you weren't surprised that he came through, but what were you thinking on that at bat?
Well, I mean, you got, like I said, their guys, they're throwing the living fire out of the ball over there. They got some guys with great arms, and they're flinging it pretty good. So you know what? They're taking their chances. They've gotten him, you know, a few times, and the good ones, the great ones, like Miggy is, eventually he finds a way to get you back. And, you know, there you have it. That's what happened.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Our next question comes from Jeff Seidel of the Detroit Free Press.
You mentioned their guys zinging it. You faced two pretty good pitchers in the last 2 days. Even after today, and there were a ton of strikeouts, what did you see about your guys? I mean, what was the mood in the dugout, A, when he got lifted, but also was there like a grit or something with this team?
Well, I mean, we're playing. We want to win ball games, and we've added people that know how to win ball games. As our first baseman making a great play down the line there in the last inning or whatever it was, catching that ball, and you know, things like that are going to make a difference as we go along here, making a play when you have to keep us in a ball game or stopping something from the other side. So that's what these guys do. They've done it before. And we're hoping our kids, you know, learn from these guys and grow. And but it was a fun ball game out there. A lot of good things happened. A lot of great plays. Some pitchers came up pretty big. So, you know, nice to win a ball game. We wanted to do that, get them here. Maybe got a chance to win a series tomorrow.